Hello dear students, today we are going to study about some of the basic concepts. Now most of the students are willing to work in software industry. So if you are from them, then this easy engineering is for you. So from today onwards we are going to study data structures. If you are willing to work in software industry, then for campus placement, the area which is focused is nothing but the data structure. So from now onwards, we are going to study data structures in details. So first of all, before going to start this data structures, we should know some of the basic concepts which are included in data structure. Then we'll study the terminologies and then we'll move towards the actual data structure. So first of all, we'll see some of the basic concepts which are used in data structure. So the basic thing is nothing but the data, and then we are going to focus on structure. Okay. So what do you mean by data? In simple language, we can say that it is simply values, a single value or a set of values, or sometimes in simple language we can say it is raw form of information. If it is processed, then we are saying it is information. So there is a small difference between data and information. This data is nothing but the raw form and this information is nothing but the processed thing. Then, now we know about this data. This data can be text, it can be image, it can be video, it can be in any form. Then, if we are having data, then we can transfer it from one location to another location, we can store it, we can process it, we can perform different operations. So now we'll move towards the different terminologies which are used in case of data structure. Now first one is data item, which we have already seen. Data item can be a single value, or we can consider if it is data items, it is a set of different values. Now here it can be divided into two parts. The first one is, we'll consider this is group item, and the second one which we will consider elementary item. Now to explain this in detail, we'll consider one example. Suppose I'm having a name of the student. Now this name is having three different parts, like first name, then middle name and surname. So here if the data item can be divided into this number of parts and all the parts are having its meaning, then it is called as a group item. If it cannot be divided, then it is called as an elementary item. For example, if we consider mobile number like 75, like this way if we consider, then this mobile number cannot be divided into number of parts. So we will consider this is elementary item. Now in the same case, suppose if I am having the phone number like 0233, for example 48, like this way if I am having the number, in that case this is the code and then we are having this is the actual number. So again we can divide it, right? And this part is having its specific meaning, this part is having its specific meaning. It means that this is now considered as group item. Getting it? So if that particular data item can be divided into number of parts and those parts are having its meaning, then it is called as a group atom. If it cannot be divided, it is considered as a single atom only, then it is considered as an elementary atom. So this is one thing in data structure. Now we'll focus on entity. Now entity means what? Entity is something which is having attributes or properties. Now what it means? Again, we'll take a simple example. Suppose student of a class or student of an institute. Now for that student, what we can say? For any student, it is having its name, then that student is having age, then we can consider mobile number. Again, we can say address of that student. Again, we can consider Aadhaar card number, PAN card number, for example, like this way. So it means that these are the properties or attributes related to that particular student. Now, here, if one student, for example, John, with the age 30 years, for example, mobile number, like this way, and any other information if it is there we can include. Then this is about one student, one more student I can consider like this way. Consider the list. Now in this case, if I consider this portion, this part, this is nothing but the field. Now if this part is indicating the attribute of that particular entity, then this is called as a field. So this field is the elementary unit which is representing attribute of that entity. Now if we consider collection of such fields like John, then 30, this mobile number and whatever extra other information is there, if we collect it together, then we will say this is nothing but record of this particular student. Then we can consider such a number of students and then we can collect everything to form file. So we'll quickly revise this. See, entity is something which is used to explain about different attributes, or we can say properties. It is having properties, it is having attributes. Field is nothing but it's an elementary unit which is representing attribute of that particular entity. If we collect all the fields of that particular entity, it forms record of that entity. If we collect all the records, it will form file. Now this we have seen some of the basic terminologies used in data structure. Now we'll move ahead with data structure. Now to focus on data structure, again we'll consider a simple example. Suppose I'm having number of books, right? So to arrange those books, if I'm having a tray, I can place those books in that way. Suppose if I'm having a box, in that box I can place the books accordingly. Or suppose I'm having a shelf, and if the shelf is in this way, it means that again number of compartments if I'm having, then I can place those books in those different compartments. It means that whatever I'm having to store those contents, accordingly I can have that structure. It means suppose if I'm having the shelf in this way, I can place one book over here, second book, third book, fourth book in that way. If I'm having this as a box having a single opening, then I have to place like this way, I have to take it out in this way. If I'm having a tray and it is having two openings, then I can place the books from here, I can place the books from here, like this way I can place the number of books. So whatever I'm having to store those books, accordingly I can perform the different operations. So this is about the structure and this is nothing but the data structure. Instead of the books, if I'm having the data elements, then I'll consider this as a data structure. Logical or mathematical model of particular organization is called as a data structure. In case of data structure, you should remember two important things. The first important thing, it must be rich enough to mirror the actual relationship in real world. And the second thing is that data structure should be simple enough so that we can effectively process the data elements. So this is about basics of data structures. Here we have seen some of the basic concepts like data, data item, then entity. We have seen the basic concept of data structure. In the next class, we are going to study about the classification of data structure and the different operations performed on data structure. Till then, do study very well. Thank you.